Who you got in the NBA Finals? Where's your money? Mavs plus 175, Celtics minus 210. I was very interested in this. Now, what that means, for those that don't gamble, the Mavericks, if you think they will win the series, and they do, you will bet $100 and win 175. That's what the plus 175 means. Any denomination you want. I just mean, we use 100 as the
if you bet $1,
easiest.
it would make you 175.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. And then the Celtics, you would have to risk 210 to win 100. That's what that means.
Yep.
So the Celtics are a bigger favorite than I thought they would be. Because, I don't know if you ever do this, but I'm always like, in my head, the first thing I thought when they won last night.
What's the line going to be?
Yeah, I'm like, I wonder what the Celtics are going to be favored by. And I thought they'd probably be a slight favorite because Dallas is kicking everybody's ass. I mean, Dallas is awesome. And yet the Celtics are a big fave. So look, this is probably famous last words, but I've got my eye on Dallas in game 1 and Dallas to win the series.
Ooh.
I do. Yeah, they're 6.5 point underdogs in game 1.
And I like that for them. They shouldn't be catching that many points, it doesn't feel
I don't think so. I think they're undervalued.
Well, and also the people have talked about this. The Celtics have kind of played with their food a little bit, and the Mavericks definitely have that kind of killer instinct thing going on right now.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly the word I was going to use. I think Dallas has 2 stone cold killers, and I think Boston has 2 really, really, really good players, but I'm not sure they're stone cold killers. Brown probably more so than Tatum. But Doncic and Irving are dogs, man. This is going to be a great series. I am actually fired up for the NBA Finals. Was not last year. Heat, Nuggets, no thanks, didn't care. Mavs, Celtics, boom.
Well, we just talked about him. The two-way star Bryce Betcher just went yard for the Ducks.
Yes!
5-4 Ducks in the top of the 11th.
Oh, my God. That was a bomb. Wow.
You betcher.
I didn't see that live, but yeah, okay. So Ducks up 5-4.
Yeah, my feed crapped out on me, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it was.
God dang, man. Where was I? What was I saying?
The betting lines on the finals, and that you think that the killer instinct of the Mavericks is a legit thing.
I think Brown is more of a killer than Tatum is, but
people have said this that Tatum is the guy whose skills you would want, and Brown is the guy whose mentality you would want.
Yes, I think that's right. But Doncic and Irving, I don't know, man. I saw something that said the Mavs, their pace since the All-Star break or thereabouts, they're a 66 win team. That is the rate at which they're winning. 66-16 if you extrapolate that over 82 game season. That's crazy. And they're a covering machine. We talked about this the other day. Mm-hmm. They're now 35-15 against the spread in their last 50, including the playoffs.
Yep.
And yet another fun little gambling stat I saw today was that they were underdogs 42 times this year. 42.
That's a lot.
That's the most for any team to reach the finals this century.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the Celtics, you know how many times they were an underdog? The Mavs were an underdog 42 times.
All season? How many times the Celtics were an underdog? I'm going to say less than 10.
3.
Wow.
They have been an underdog in 3 games. That's the fewest by any team to reach the finals this century.
I figured, surely there would have to be some games where, guys were sitting out or injured or whatever, that might not have been the case. But that 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody, I mean, I don't know. We love Boston, and rightly so. That's a really good team. But I think Dallas is kind of, I don't know. I don't think we're fully convinced that they're legit yet. I don't know what more we need to see. I mean, the Minnesota, that team, I mean, they were talking about them being one of the best teams defensively we've ever seen. And they eliminated Jokic, and then Doncic just goes out and torches them.
Yeah, they've been a handful for everybody. And I think people didn't see this coming, like we talked about yesterday with the Kyrie acquisition. You didn't think that what they were going to have was 2 superstar killers that could close out games and combine for 60-plus every night. But that's what they have now. And then on top of it, they've got the role players and the infrastructure to kind of make it all work.
Dude, I think I'm going to take Dallas, bro.
And I don't hate it. I think the value is definitely there.
Yeah.
I still think the Celtics will win, but giving that extra money with Dallas, I'm more inclined to probably just take the points in game 1 and then continue to ride that throughout, thinking they'll make it a series. But I see where you're coming from.
Luka's the first player ever to lead the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists entering the finals.
I saw that.
That has never happened. No player has ever done that. And he leads the league in whining.
Yeah.
and limping.
Well, you'd think it maybe could have happened with Jokic, too, just because he's a triple-double guy as well. But Luka with the higher volume.
And he's talking a lot of trash, too.
Yeah, he was running that mouth last night.
Well,
Who's crying now, mother? Do you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. Who was he? He was talking to...
People thought he was barking at Snoop Dogg, but then apparently it was a fan that was sitting right by Snoop Dogg who had been calling him a crybaby.
Yeah, he was doing the fist eye thing.
Mm-hmm.
Crybaby, you're a baby.
Which must cut so deep for these superstars.
Right. I don't really know how Minnesota, as good as they are, gets beat by 30 at home.
They got boat raced.
I don't get that.
They scored like 40 points in the first half. It was horrible.
I guess
Luka outscored him by himself in the first quarter.
I know. I guess it's just... Oh, here's Walsh right here.
Yeah.
Big lefty. I guess it's... there's an element of when you're down 3-0, you know you're done, but you bow up for one game because you don't want to get swept. And then after that, it's just this lingering, you know what? We got that game. We're not going to come back. And, it snowballs. Doncic gets hot. And before you know it, you're not matching their energy. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird that you get blown out. Every single game in that series was close until last night, and Minnesota just doesn't even show. It's so weird.
It was really odd. I don't know what they figured out or what string they were able to pull, because I always think when that team, especially the game that Minnesota won to force just a fifth game, it was a tight game. It was like hotly contested. I thought, you know what, they're going to have juice in this game too, because now they're going to start believing, and it was so flat. It was terrible.
Yeah. Do you subscribe to the theory that some guys are just winners?
Sure. Yeah, I think there is. I don't think that can be enough that it's like, oh, this guy just automatically wins because of like the type of person that he is, or he makes everyone around him better. But in general, I think there are certain guys that have maybe more ability to win than people with their similar skills. Yeah.
They just know how to win. They have a knack for winning.
A knack for it, yes.
Yeah, that to me is Luka. I was reading an article about him in the Wall Street Journal. They were talking about how when he was young, Real Madrid has like the greatest soccer club ever, right?
Sure. I mean, it's one of the best, if not the best.
Titles all over the place. Well, I guess there's a Real Madrid of basketball.
So that's what they do, especially in Spain, and I think Germany as well. Any major brand, they have these academies that are like umbrellas over multiple sports. So there's Real Madrid, there's FC Barcelona. There are these academies for multiple sports, including basketball.
Can't say I knew that, but Doncic played for Real Madrid, and I guess Real Madrid in basketball was just as dominant as Real Madrid in soccer. And he said this article is talking about how it's just in the blood there. Like all they do is win at all levels in all sports. And he won a title there. And they have multiple titles. As a matter of fact, in the article, it's kind of funny. They quoted one of the coaches. I didn't quote him, but they said, they paraphrased when one of the coaches retired. I think it was one of the basketball coaches retired. He said, "Look, I'm just done. I have championships coming out of my ears.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop winning. I'm done. It's too much."
Yeah, I'm seeing that like Pau Gasol played for FC Barcelona in Spain before he was drafted, and so did Blazers great Mario Hezonja.
Blazers great, yes. Yeah, so Doncic, just has that it. He's always won. He learned how to win at a young age with Real Madrid, and they've just kind of got that vibe with the Mavericks, which is why I think I'm going to... And plus, he's the best player in the series. I mean, it's pretty reductive.
But he's got that attitude edge, too, where it seems like everything ticks him off, and that he takes umbrage with everything. Everything bugs him, and he's got to prove something. Like the way he's yapping at fans and staring down other guys in blowouts and stuff. It's like he might be a little maniacal, and you need a little bit of that to get all the way to the top of the mountain.
He likes that. I think that fuels him.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think it's slightly reductive. But when the NBA, like I was watching a clip of the Celtics coach talking about going back and watching every NBA Finals since the 90s. At least he claims he did. And they asked him, well, what did you learn? He said, well, that it's pretty simple. They're all the same. It's just basketball. Transition defense, got to rebound, all this basic stuff. Like basketball is not, it's just not rocket science. And so you could reduce it down and say that the two best players in this series are on Dallas. You could make that case.
You could also make the case that the best player in the series is on Boston, too. I think some people would say Jason Tatum's that guy.
Better than Luka?
I think people have made that argument. I mean,
well,
aren't there people that voted Tatum over Luka for MVP?
I don't know, but now that we've seen Luka get Dallas here, I wonder if their opinion. I mean, come on, Luka's a better player than Tatum.
I would agree, but I mean, Tatum has. There are people that will say that Tatum is every bit as good or every bit as talented.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tatum's going to get his in this series. He's awesome, and Luka's going to get his, and Irving's going to get his, and Brown's going to get his. They're all, but it's all about the last 4 minutes, last 3 minutes. It's all about those clutch shots, clutch time.
And I trust Dallas more than
100%, not even close. So, like I said, I mean, you could make the case that they're the underdog, and yet they might have the two best players in the series, and that's enough. Or you could just say, they have the best player in Luka in the NBA. Luka could be the best player in the world right now.
It's possible.
Better than Jokic. I don't know. We'll debate that some other time. But poll question, it's up there on X at 1080 The Fan. Vote and vote hard. Where's your money in the NBA Finals? Mavs plus 175, Celtics minus 210.